Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking another look here at Bitcoin just prior to its candlestick closure here today on the daily, seeing kind of what's going on. We're also going to talk a little bit about potential for further downside, just as a realistic possibility. I'm still leaning a little bit more towards further retracement, but once again, we're kind of traveling into this no buy, no sell zone, so there's that as well. But we'll discuss that. A quick little congrats to our committee here for, what was it, a very solid XRP long. Like we got in there about 53 cents, hit all profit targets in 15 minutes or less. And if you didn't catch that already, I know this is a Bitcoin video, by the way, but XRP essentially it's no longer viewed as a security because there was a what was that? I'm probably going to butcher it here. I'm no good at fundamentals, by the way. Judge orders Ripple to pay $125 million in civil penalties, officially ending the lawsuit. So it's the end is in sight. Therefore, the price is spiking up. Again, just kind of throwing it out there. That's why you're seeing this happen for potential cup and handle pattern. But contrary to that, the majority of the market's pulling back. So it's one of the few outliers here today. Again, a fundamental catalyst, big surprise. That happens all the time. What I want to look at here is Bitcoin's scenario and kind of see if we've seen any increase or decrease in liquidation levels. Because when we look at this earlier today, we saw there was a solid amount just above the price action, about 58,000. We've known this for a little while, that a lot of people are shorting that level, including us. As a community, we have a short open from 56.9, and we secured profits about 20% yesterday at 55.7. Our next target at 54,300 is getting close, so we're going to consider seeing if that is an option for us or not, or if we just close it out, turn around, and just hit that good old reverse button. I never recommend that. I always recommend using limit orders if possible, because it's just so much better, lower fees for you. But again, sometimes you got to make quick moves, and I get it. It's there for a specific purpose. Okay, so let's take a look at the daily time frame, see what's going on. All right, so if you're new to the channel, I generally like to work my way up and down specific time frames, more so down from up. I start with the daily and work my way down to the hourly. Okay, so again, it's more so me being a swing trader. If I was day trading, I'd do the same thing. I would just include the 15, 5, and the 1 minute charts, and then I'd eventually make a decision. But for right now, what we're going to look at, key takeaway here is a few important factors, because this hasn't changed much at all, but it's good for you to know, just to recap. Being under these significant moving averages, there's a decent chance that this $60,000 range, basically 59.5 upwards of 62.5, that's the CME gap that we have now. That is effectively going to be a resistance range. And future reference too, if you're part of our community, live charts, you can kind of see that CME gap here. There's a link there that I share with you for my charts. But simply to put, the way that the market is right now, it's not good. There's no other way around it. You shouldn't expect Bitcoin just to instantly recover. While we had some nice little candle wicks, for example, as you can see here so far today, we're not really all that bullish today, okay? And again, it's that natural correction, that knee-jerk reaction that occurred yesterday. Today, the realism's kicking in. Bitcoin is not back on track, and let's make sure to be honest about that and just be realistic. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I really hope we see upper 40s to low 50s for my limit orders to get filled. I got some really heavy positions there, somewhere in the range of 10, 20, 30K essentially per $1,000 mark. In fact, somebody asked me what my amounts are generally. It really depends on the area of focus, but when I try to do limit orders, I set them every 500. So for example, 54.5, 54 even, 53.5, 53 even. I just kind of work my way down every 500 roughly, and those numbers get larger as they go down. Okay, it's generally where it's at, but those are usually key levels of supports. Now that we're close to this lower 50K range, to me it seems like a bargain. Again, months down the road, when we're at just say 30 or 40,000, it may not feel like a steal anymore. That's a low probability though at this point. Again, you got to keep in mind the macro is still looking actually in decent shape. It's just you can't expect Bitcoin to work miracles as a result of this massive correction. Keep in mind, 8 days ago or 8 days prior to this sell-off, we were 30% higher. We were closer to 70,000. Okay, so just to give you perspective, a lot can change. Anyways, having said that, now that we're here, we're still honoring our descending trend line. We rejected off that perfectly. It's running fairly concurrent with the 20 SMA and the 50 in ways. So until we get back up over the 50, I wouldn't consider this to be a significant situation. Again, this is a 4-hour chart too. These are smaller, quicker moving averages on the smaller time frame. So in general, it's going to be a while before we're getting even confirmation on a transitionary time frame. Having said that, we're still under 50 in the RSI. We rejected out right at that 45 range. Money flow index is high, but it's kind of flawed because it's not factoring in this massive dip anymore. It's only taking the last 14 candles. So it's going to look like there's a lot because there was a lot of buying pressure, but it's not relevant or relative to the decline. So it doesn't make a ton of sense. So I would exclude money flow index for a little bit. It's kind of a flawed metric for the moment. When we take a look here, again, specific to this time frame, by the way, other time frames it might reflect better. Or worse, we can take a look at stochastic is pulling back, MACD is starting to diverge. A lot of reasons why we should experience a further pullback. Now, it could be just as simple as an ABC pattern on our way down. We did hit our 1 through 5 for Elliott wave. While it's not an exact science, there's still some truth to it. And again, you got to take it with a grain of salt too, folks. I know some people just like, there's other influencers that are talking about they only do Elliott wave. And not to say that that's a problem, it's just kind of unilateral, right? Why not take a lot of different scenarios and kind of make an informed decision instead of just one thing to rule them all? There's no such thing as one indicator that's perfect, okay? Again, so having said that, the reason I'm mentioning that is you want to be careful trusting Elliott wave all the time. Sure, there's validations and invalidations, but the truth is here we may still be in our third wave, basically our impulse wave before the next leg up, okay? And I think there's a distinct chance that that is the case, but we are also coming to this point of control right here at 54,700. That's roughly the same place in which the price is at right now. So we're holding that level. That's basically the most amount of volume last more so like 72 hours, last 2 or 3 trading days. That's essentially what we're seeing. Okay, so again, it's more than just a wave or a pattern that you want to base your trades off of. So again, just know that we're bouncing off support, and I do think 55K, if it holds, that would be a solid consideration for either a long or just in general a place to consider adding to your spot bag. Mainly because 55 to 57K is that rough estimate for that range that I was talking about yesterday. Again, I posted that in our trade alert section in our Discord. I discussed how that was a relevant area to consider. 56 to 57 is the support range. We should be range bound in that range. So hypothetically, if this is a range, right? 55K would be a solid consideration for a long up to 56, 57, right? Again, that's generally the consensus and how you're supposed to trade ranges. What I'm getting at here is that if we look at the Ichimoku cloud, the end-all be-all here is that we shouldn't take a trade because we're right in here within the cloud. While the lagging span's free and clear, that's generally a bearish sign. The conversion line's also below the baseline, also bearish. When you're within the cloud, the best practice is to avoid taking a trade. So even though there's more things pointing down and the likelihood of the price action going down is higher than it going up right now, if we establish ourselves in this range, we continue to hold this level, which we can kind of see over here. While it's not exact, 54.8 is that more local low. We're bouncing off that same low area, and that's the point of control. So 54.8 could very well be near the bottom, right? So again, it depends on which way you want to roll the dice, folks. How are you planning to do it? What kind of trader are you? It's more long-term, I'm going to say I'd consider waiting. If you're considering day trading, it wouldn't be harmful to consider a long at 55 to maybe the 56 to 57K range while we range bound. Okay. Again, it would make sense for Bitcoin to range for a while before it decides to picks a side, right? That increases the volatility probability, yes. Is it fun to trade ranges? Me personally, I don't like it. But again, you work with what you got. And that's where we're at. All right, I hope that made sense. I described that correctly. Thanks again so much, y'all, for watching. Don't forget to like the video before you go. Comment below. Join us over at Bitunix, phenomenal exchange, excellent rewards. If you use my link to register, this is only available for this month. They provide really good benefits for our community, so just know no KYC or VPN. These guys are awesome. All right, other than that, the only thing else I can say is if you're new to my channel, thanks again for watching. Join us over on Twitter, Telegram, or Discord if you want. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.